problem at all. Thank you for having me.
I always wonder if I say the Tikkun right. Just tell us about Afrika Tikkun and what you do.
Spot on. So with Afrika Tikkun, we have a model that we call the cradle to career model. So normally that means, in normal circumstances, that means that we have preschools, early childhood development programs, we call them. We have a program that's called Child and Youth Development and a career developmental program. So essentially we look after young people from the age of 0 all the way up to the age of 35. So it's really holistic development. With COVID, we pivoted a little bit. We pivoted a lot and did a lot of food security because we recognized that hunger and access to food and nutritional food was a problem in the communities that we are serving. So that's normally what we do.
Yeah, just give us a sense of the picture that you have uncovered in terms of food insecurity, especially in primary schools.
Perfect. So what we realized are two things. On the one hand is that the majority of the community we serve really is from hand to mouth. So if there's nothing coming in the hand from a salary perspective, it immediately affects hunger. And with primary schools, what then happens is that normally children, when they go to school, that would be the only or one of the only 2 meals they have in a day. Now that that meal is not longer available when the kids were going to school, we realized that there was a major problem when it comes to hunger, but also a major problem when it comes to risk of stunting. And that's for us is part and parcel of the developmental process of a child that has long-term consequences as well. So we, from an Afrika Tikkun point of view, wanted to ensure that that didn't happen and that therefore we really focused a lot on food security during this time.
Yeah. There's a perception that South Africa is food secure. Is this the case? What does research and the numbers tell us?
I think the way the misperception is that South Africans are food secure from a calories perspective. So we have often enough food in our communities when it comes to filling a tummy, but we often don't have enough nutrition in the food. And that's what the numbers are telling us. The numbers are really speaking about, are we providing enough nutritional food for our communities? And the answer is no. And that leads to short-term developmental problems and long finding employment as well. That's kind of what the number. The majority of the people in South Africa do have access to food, but the majority don't have access to nutritional food.
Yeah. So as the world marks World Food Day, what significance does this hold for this country?
I think for us it's the realization, I think COVID brought us about in a dramatic fashion, the realization that food in this country is still an issue and access to nutritional food is an issue. And this speaks to what we're doing about it. And I think that might be an example, just on a small scale, as we're looking at agricultural programs in order to bridge the gap. And particularly agricultural programs that are small scale. So both small scale regenerative traditional farming methodologies around sheep and chicken and bees and honey, as well as urban farming methodologies. And the urban farming methodologies are really around how do I, on the little plots that I have on the back of my house, how do I grow some food that will help for food security in my home? So those are two things that I think it can mean for South Africa. So we look at a lot more small-scale farming initiatives and farming initiatives that can be implemented by the average person in a Deep Sloot, in an Alexander, or a Tembisa.
Alef, I don't know if you're still able to hear us, but I wanted to ask you about prices, food prices. How does this aspect of access to food affect the conversation about being able to get hold of food? All right, it looks like we've lost Alef Meulenberg. He's the CEO for Afrika Tikkun, looking at that story about World Food Day.